excuse me, whack, I'm going to borrow your body for a minute, and I'm going to get you in trouble, then you're going to have to deal with it when you get back, This is what they've been doing to people for ages. I mean, you can see it sometimes in yourself, sometimes in your children, sometimes in your parents. Now, the degree to which you succumb depends on how much the Metatronic code is activated in your body. Everybody's got it at this point. But we can neutralize it with the flame body activations, and that's why we're doing them. In your shield, what strands are located where? So it's kind of an interesting little thing, but it's also showing where the 4 levels of your shadow are, each density level of your shadow. This is why we say if you're standing here, that's like the guy standing this way. Now over to the left, here is an implant in this particular part of the shield, which means the shadow is manifesting here. That's why we say, if something's talking to you from over here, don't talk to it. Right? On the left side stands the devil. The part of yourself that is reversed communicates from primarily in density 1 from this level. And anything that's trying to channel or trying to get at you or misdirect you will come through. The Weesvix can talk to you from that angle, and so can the Phantom Matrix people. When you come in over here, there's actually a higher level one. It depends on what density you're in. We're in density 1, so the right side is technically okay, because down and through here, we have strand 6 is right directly in front of us, and strand 7. Between them, we actually have a crystal seal that allows what's called the Amareya passage frequency to come in. This is why when we teach the mentor space, it's over here. It's over the right shoulder, which is your link to where you can talk to the ones, to your own self, and the levels of being that are in the echo worlds and the God worlds. So right now it's the easiest way to establish communication with them. But this just shows you where the Metatronic 4 black heart implants. And there's 2 other implants. One is called the Avalon seal that manifests in the pineal, and the other is called the 666 Apollyon seal, and that is the one that manifests in the Azure point. And in the planetary and galactic and universal Cathara grids, it manifests at that point, the Azure, which is the precious point where the Amareya flame opens up, right between Cathara centers 6 and 7, Stargate 6 and 7. It manifests there, and that's what creates the reversal, where it manifests and blows a whole current of D13 reverse frequency through that progressively creates monadic reversal. It shoots up from that point into Cathara Center 8 that's on the middle line, and that's what what's called the monad imprint is. Reverses Stargate 8 or your Cathara Center 8, your DNA strand 8, and all the ones below it. And that creates a condition of monadic reversal, which is full reversal of the entire template, breaks it off at the 11.5, where it can't run frequency from your D12 crystals anymore, and progressively pulls your body and your being and your consciousness into the Weesadek fall. Now, we've all been living together on this planet for a long time, 25,500 years. The souls have been here, of both sides. The reality fields have been held in the net, in stasis. But at this point, one's going to swallow the other if something isn't done, and something is going to be done. They tried to swallow us, and they found that they were going to blow themselves up if they continued. They can't stop the beast now that they activated it. They would if they could. They can't. Once you set the activation codes, it goes on autopilot on the universal level and comes all the way down. So, what you can do, however, is you can run the flames and progressively open the flames, and we get something called the ARC project, which is planetary, galactic, and universal as well as personal. When we activate the flame body, we're allowing ourselves to be able to run what are called the Amareya arcs, which are planetary, galactic, universal levels of current that correspond to the Eka and the Akasha and the Akasha A and the Akasha Ea worlds. It allows us to run the 12 scepter pillars, literally down in the highest God worlds, that will create the support necessary. There's going to be a separation of reality fields that occurs. Part is going to fall. The stuff that's already fully Metatronic, you can't undo that bond. They're going to go their way, and there's going to be a series of steps that lead to a separation between certain parts of the planetary grids, certain groups of people, where eventually we will perceive different reality fields. But right now, we're all on the same seeming planet, and we're all in the same space. So what we're in the middle of, we'll talk about when we talk more about the beast to get into the planetary level of stuff, is there is a separation of the radial body of the planet taking place, the part that has been corrupted. You can't stop it from going down, but what you can do is prevent the parts that haven't been corrupted by holding them in a natural Amareya flame field, but on the planetary, galactic, and universal level. This is what's called the bridge zone, the Samaria field, the trion-miage field on the universal level. So this is what we're part of. In the meantime, this just shows you where these implants are. They're literally in your Mahara shield, which means they manifest right in your DNA template. Once we play with Beta Hoover scans and stuff for a while, we won't teach you how to do it here, but some part of your cells, when you're ready, will. We'll teach you how to check status on them. Right now, I won't let you do that. I just feel it. First, get just used to the idea. And find out the good things in your DNA template, your strengths, right? Before you worry about your weaknesses. Because it could be scary. That, oh my God, number 3 is activating. Where you can freak out and help it to activate. Because you let your emotional body, be frightened. Instead, you should just say, oh, that means I need to run frequency. This way, doesn't it? There's just like a matter-of-fact thing after a while you do. You don't allow yourself the luxury of freak out. Like insanity, nervous breakdown, those kind of things are not an option in this game. Unless you want to take a nice trip and a nice fall, a very long one. Why do we allow ourselves the luxury anyway? I'm going to let my whole emotional body, or I'm going to let my chemicals go nuts, and I'm going to have an agoraphobic attack right now. And I'm going to be claustrophobic and freak out. And you will, because this program is running. You might not hear it. Your brain's going, oh my God, oh, the feeling's coming. Oh my, I'm constricting here. Oh, panic, right? This level of your 3D mind is seeing symptoms and going, I know what that means. Oh my God, I turn into a lunatic. I bounce off walls. I go hide under dressers. Or the other part goes, I'm telling myself to do this because I don't want to face it. I don't want to face the reality of I know I can fix this. There's another part of your 3D mind that is telling your body to do that by the words it's telling it. It's like a not quite subconscious run of stuff. It may be in your mother's voice or your ex-husband's voice or whoever's voice. But there's a part of you that's triggering the chemical responses that you're perceiving as that overwhelmed feeling, or anything from agoraphobia to, where you're like freaking out. I used to get it in stores. I'd go to a grocery store, oh, this would just be too big. Those big stores with the big lights. And I'd feel my field expand out like 1,000,000 miles, and I'd feel like I was getting lost in the middle of it, and the whole panic attack thing. I found the part of myself that was telling myself that. And it had to do with incarnational programming about I'm supposed to stay invisible. I can't get too big. I have to be small and tiny so nobody sees me. So if they don't see me, they won't burn me at this day, kind of thing. Right? It was a part of my program. Once I found that I wasn't agoraphobic anymore, it was, oh, I don't have to do that now. Oh, okay. And my field responded completely differently to the atmosphere. So, are you falling asleep or? Oh. Okay, so anyway, enough about agoraphobia. This is just to show you where the implants are. The fact that there are the 4 black heart Metatron implants, the Apollyon 666 seal at the Azure, and the Avalon seal at the pineal. These are the Metatronic implants that will progressively heal and clear by activating the flame bodies. And it's kind of like, yeah, it'll do that. But that's not the exciting part about the flame bodies. The flame bodies are giving ourselves back the gift that was our original creation gift, where we rediscover progressively ourselves as creators. I mean, it's exciting. And you walk around, even at the store, or you can go to a church or something, you are a keeper of the flame. You are an embodiment of the flame. And that most of the people sitting around you don't know that. And they don't know what that is. But you know what it is. And you are as if you are Christ sitting down next to them. If you sit on a pew with them, or if you ride in a taxi with them, you are bringing to them, as close as possible, those frequencies of the Christos and the highest levels of creation. And there is an honor in that. An honor that's not about arrogance at all. It's a gratitude to be able to serve and to give in that way. So the activations we're going to go through, and we'll do a quickie bathroom run. Do 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and just take a break after 4 for 2, just a little bit to
Okay, so with eyes closed, bring your attention to your breathing rate to begin with. And whatever about 1/2 speed of your normal breathing rate, try and reduce it to something that feels like about half of normal. Let's take a few seconds just to slow the rate of breathing down. And whilst you're doing that, imagine the place within the center of your brain where the small, dimly lit circular room with the descending spiral staircase resides. Continue to regulate your breath as you imagine the small, dimly lit circular room which exists at the center of your brain. Bring to mind the location of the descending spiraling staircase. Place the focus of your mental attention in the small, dimly lit circular room in the brain center. Begin to feel the sensations of being within your circular room until your inner eyes adjust to the dim light. The sensations you feel will not always be the same. Check on the temperature of the air as it touches your skin. Allow yourself to notice whether it's cool or warm, hot or cold. Try and note whether you detect any sound in this space, and if so, what kind of sound you detect. As you do this, your inner eyes begin to adjust to the dim light, and you may begin to notice objects, color, the movement of light in your little circular room. Now, as you continue to imagine yourself standing within the inner circular room at the center of your brain, either visualize or intend that your imaginary body, standing in the center of the circular room, turns to the right from the position in which it was standing. After turning to the right, imagine now that a spiral staircase appears before you. This staircase ascends upwards and has 36 steps. Do your best to imagine the circular room is physically real and that your physical body is standing within it. And with your eyes closed, sense with your physical and mental bodies the entrance to the ascending spiral staircase. If the spiral staircase were to magically open up now, emerging from your own physical body and into the room, it would always appear directly to the right of your physical body. Sense the area to the right of your own physical body from which the staircase would emerge. This area represents the natural density 2 departure point for all beings carrying the human or indigo divine blueprint template. And if at first you are unable to sense the density 2 departure point, simply imagine that it is there, opening and ascending upward to the right side of your physical body. Once you have located or imagined the density 2 departure point, move the focus of your mental attention to this area of your body and imagine that your awareness is now poised at the bottom stair of the ascending spiral staircase. This staircase extends upward from your density 2 departure point into an area that resembles a golden tunnel. Sense the location of the staircase handrail and imagine yourself reaching out to grasp it with your right hand. So with your physical palms resting in your lap, sense the feeling of the handrail within the palm of your physical right hand and allow yourself to model the physically grasping gesture of the invisible handrail using your right hand while it rests loosely on your lap. The handrail will be your guide as you prepare to ascend the spiral staircase to the awakening room above. Now, using this imagined sensation of the handrail held in your right palm, imagine now that your mental awareness begins to slowly walk up the dimly lit stairway. Count each of the steps you take as you slowly ascend. 1, 2, 3, and continue. Everyone will have at least 36 steps. The 36th step is the step that leads directly into the density 2, dimension 6.5 indigo violet awakening room, which is the Eka Godseed center point, the azurite crystal and inner temple of Kemalatia. Now imagine that you're standing on the 36th and top step. Release the handrail while allowing your hand now to relax in your lap. You may still experience very little visual sensory data as you enter the indigo violet awakening room. Imagine that you are now stepping from the 36th step into the aquamarine and amethyst tile floor of the awakening room, while imagining the awakening room as a circular aquamarine and amethyst tiled cave that is brightly lit with undulating rays of gold, indigo and violet light. You are in an aquamarine and amethyst tile cave, brightly lit with undulating rays of gold, indigo and violet light. In the center of the awakening room, there is an ancient yellow gold chalice, often called the Holy Grail, that rises up from the floor to the height of about 4 feet. Imagine yourself slowly walking forward with one hand extended, feeling your way along through the blinding light rays, as if moving through the light field of a sun. Continue to sense that you are walking forward in the awakening room until your extended hand touches the raised golden chalice in front of you. When you reach the golden chalice, imagine that you are reaching forward to retrieve something that sits inside the upper bowl of the golden chalice. Now imagine that you're reaching down into the upper bowl of the golden chalice, searching with your fingers to locate the small object awaiting your retrieval. The object you are looking for is a very deep azure blue azurite crystal, spherical in form, about the size of a large marble, with a sparkling rough textured surface covered in minute azurite crystal cluster points. This azurite crystal is the door key to your density 2 etheric soul body. Now imagine that you are picking up the azurite crystal in your right hand. And as you imagine this, model the gesture with your physical right hand as it's resting in your lap. Imagine yourself picking up the azurite crystal in your right hand. And as you hold it, modeling the gesture with your physical right hand lying in your lap, sense the size, the weight, the texture, and the temperature of the azurite crystal. just as if the invisible object were really there. Now inhale pale silver Maharic current up from Earth's core into your body through your central vertical current to the Azure point in chakra 8 at the base of the thymus. Exhale the Maharic current from the Azure down your right arm into your palm and into the Azurite crystal. Take 3 more inhale, exhale breaths, each time energizing and activating the Azurite crystal in your palm. At the end of the last exhale, imagine that the Azurite crystal is now glowing and pulsating with an aura of pale silver gold light. You may sense the weight of the crystal in your palm is growing slightly less heavy. You may also sense nothing, but even so, the Azurite crystal is now activated. Continuing with eyes closed, move your physical right hand, imagining the activated Azurite crystal within it, to the Azure point at the thymus. Cup your hand over the Azure point as if the invisible crystal were positioned between your palm and your body. Inhale a Maharic breath up to the Azure and exhale the breath down your right arm into your palm and through the Azurite crystal. As the breath carries the Maharic frequency into your body, there is a sensation of mild buzzing in the Azure area as the data key stored in the Azurite crystal moves into the corresponding lock 6 on density 2 etheric soul body door. If you do not feel the buzzing sensation, send up to 3 more inhale, exhale Maharic breaths through the Azurite crystal to amplify the Maharic charge that will release the data key. After 3 Maharic breaths, sufficient frequency will be generated even if you do not yet feel the buzzing sensation. As the data key releases, imagine that your body absorbs the entire Azurite crystal, removing it from your palm and transferring the crystal into the etheric lock 6 at the Azure. Let your right hand rest gently in your lap, while shifting your mental focus to the physical Azure where the crystal has entered. Imagine now that you can sense the weight and gentle buzzing of the Azurite crystal within your physical body in the Azure. As you do this, the crystal is now rotating slowly and pulsing in a gentle rhythm. On every pulsation, releasing a pale silver gold azure blue Azurite wave field of frequency rays, which contain the natural activation code mathematical program for your personal density 2 etheric soul body. Spend a couple of minutes or a minute or two trying to become aware of each gentle pulse of the subtle Azurite wave field as it emanates from the Azure at the thymus and spreads outward in all directions through every atom in your body, giving your D2 etheric soul body field its ancient wake-up call. Just relax and breathe slowly for a few moments, getting in touch with the presence of the pulsing Azurite waves. These waves are there, even if you cannot yet sense their presence. And your D4 astral atomic etheric body does sense them and responds accordingly. Next, inhale Maharic current up to the Azure, and then exhale the current within the Azure to form a tiny pale silver Maharic spark within the Azure. 2 more inhale-exhale Maharic breaths, using each subsequent exhale to expand the Maharic spark within the Azaray to the size of a chicken's egg, while observing the sensation of the Maharic egg expanding into your Azaray. Now take a final Maharic breath, this time inhaling current directly into the Maharic egg, and use a forceful exhale breath to burst the egg while pushing the released rays of Maharic current throughout your entire body and outward into your auric field in every direction. Now, using a deep, steady, fluid inhale breath, focus your attention on the Azaray, where the Azurite crystal entered the body. Slowly inhale Maharic current upward from Earth core into the Azaray, using a deep, steady, fluid inhale breath to initiate the activation breath, inhaling Maharic current into the Azaray, then holding this breath for a moment, while focusing mental attention on the Azurite crystal in the Azaray. Exhale slowly, using the breath to push more Maharic current into the Azurite crystal. Breathe easily and gently for a few moments, waiting for a very subtle pop sensation or a sense of expansion or warmth to occur within the Azaray, as the Azaray lock seal releases, freeing the density 2 D4 atomic etheric body for merger with the activated density 1 silver sanctum Eros flame. The Azaray passage extending between the density 1 and density 2 body Azaray points is now opened, and the Azurite crystal is activated. As the Azaray lock seal releases, you may or may not experience a momentary sense of heat waves rising from the back through the head, or even cranial pressure inside or surrounding the skull, as the D6 mental body capsule opens and expands into the density 2 etheric soul body blueprint. The etheric soul body exists as a D4 Irae plus Mane primal current energy field within and surrounding every atom, which extends like a form-fitting pale blue, violet and gold energy spacesuit around the entire physical body. Relax and breathe gently with your eyes closed, and imagine the etheric soul body spacesuit or density 2 body replica. Imagine that you can see its pale blue, violet and gold form sitting within your physical body in exactly the same position as your physical body is now. Once the Azaray passage has been opened through the release of the Azurite crystal at dimensional lock 6, the D6 mental body field opens into the density 2 radial body Eros field, causing the polarized D5, D7 Eros to depolarize to a D12 Manu Rayon field. The density 2 body is thus prepared to receive the frequencies of the fully activated Azurite crystal and the density 2 Amareya flame Akasha body, or transharmonic Amareya flame body. So continue to relax and breathe slowly, while focusing the mental body attention on the Azaray point in the physical body. As you do this, imagine your consciousness as a spark of pale silver Maharic light placed within the Azurite crystal at the central pale silver Amareya egg throne of power within the Azurite flame inside of the Azurite crystal sphere. With your attention focused in the Amareya egg at the Azaray, give the mental command silently in your head. Shift now to the density 2 etheric cell body vehicle, while imagining your etheric cell body moving out to the right of your density 1 physical body, with the silver spark of your consciousness placed within the brain center, the pineal gland, of the density 2 etheric cell body. From the etheric cell body, the transharmonic Amareya central Manu eternal flame and the six-dimensional silver sanctum within and surrounding density 1, density 2 bodies can be activated. Now, using the vertical breathing rhythm of running the Maharic current within your physical body, you will move the silver spark within the density 2 etheric cell body. So inhale Maharic current up from earth core and into the Azure in one breathing motion. Exhale the Maharic current into the Azurite crystal at the Azure, using the exhale breath to direct the Azurite crystal horizontally to the right, while imagining that the Azurite crystal moves with the breath into the Azure cord and into the density 2 etheric cell body. Imagine that the deep azure blue Azurite crystal is now nestling comfortably within the Azure point of the etheric cell body. Bring your attention to the pale silver spark at the pineal gland of the etheric cell body. Inhale in the physical body, then exhale forcefully while imagining that the silver spark rides the breath current, moving rapidly down from the etheric pineal into the Azurite crystal at the etheric cell body Azure point. When the silver spark intersects with the Azurite crystal, a momentary density 2 etheric flaring occurs as the crystal bursts into a small, deep azure blue Manu flame about 2 3/4 inches high within the etheric body Azure. Inhale and then exhale and imagine that the deep azure blue Manu Amareya flame spreads throughout every atom of the density 1 and density 2 etheric bodies, turning the pale blue, violet and gold density 2 etheric cell body into a brilliant, glowing, shimmering, pale silver blue transharmonic etheric Akasha body as the density 1 and density 2 silver sanctums unite. Now focus your attention on the small Amareya Manu flame at the etheric cell body Azure, and inhale, using the inhale breath to draw the Amareya flame through the Azure cord and into the physical body Azure point. Exhale forcefully, using the breath to push the Amareya flame down to the earth core. When the flame enters the earth core, the flame momentarily flares, filling every atom in the physical and soul body with deep azure blue Amareya divine blueprint frequency. Try to sense the release of the Amareya wave within the physical body as a gentle expansion of internal heat emerging from the Azure that moves simultaneously in all directions throughout the physical body. With your attention focused on the Amareya flame at the Earth's core, prepare to inhale deeply and simultaneously from 2 directions in the 2-point breathing of Amareya activation. In this breath, you'll be pulling indigo frequency down from the 14th chakra above the head, while pulling pale silver Maharic current up and the Amareya flame up from Earth core, bringing both or all 3 into union at the Azure point. So inhale simultaneously, breathing density 2 indigo from the 14th chakra 36 inches above your head, while pulling pale silver Maharic current and the Amareya flame up from Earth's core, bringing them into union at the Azure point. Exhale the 2-point breath within the Azure. And in your own time, complete 3 additional 2-point inhale-exhale breaths to activate the Amareya flame within the Azure. Focusing your attention on the inside of the Amaraya flame at the Azaray, take a final 2-point inhale. Exhale forcefully using the breath to rapidly expand the Amaraya flame from within the Azaray outward through the body until the flame is fully expanded around the entire body and outward several feet into your auric field, forming the pale silver blue 6-dimensional transharmonic Akasha inner silver sanctum body capsule. Now direct your attention back to the etheric soul body, positioned to the right of your physical body. Inhale, drawing the etheric soul body horizontally back into the physical body. When the two bodies rapidly and fully align, the activated Amaraya flame will momentarily flare as the Amaraya flame phase locks within both the density 1 and density 2 etheric and physical bodies. Thus, the transharmonic Akasha seal Amaraya flame and the Azurite crystal are fully activated. Now we move on to Amaraya flame activation level 4, the DNA Amaraya buffer, otherwise technique 8. Bring your attention back to your breathing rate, and if necessary, reset the breathing rate to about 1/2 of the normal. And call to mind the Akasha symbol teardrop shape in pale silver. Within the teardrop shape, visualize or intend a 24.3-dimensional star at the center. Or use the Akasha Rushe image if you have already been working with the Veka code induction techniques. Use them as you would use these symbols as the Hierophant activation keys for the Maharic shield. Now imagine the Akasha Hierophant symbol at the pineal gland at the center of your brain. Now inhale and forcefully exhale, pushing the Akasha Hierophant from the pineal down the central vertical current and into Earth's core. Following the exhale, hold your breath out for 3 to 4 seconds while imagining 3 tiny Kirashe flames, 1 pale turquoise, 1 pale yellow and 1 pale pink, gently bursting upward to surround the Akasha Hierophant within the Earth core in response to contact with the Akasha Hierophant. Inhale the Akasha Hierophant with the 3 Kirashe flames surrounding it, upward to the Maharic shield center 12 inches below your feet, and exhale forcefully while imagining the Akasha Hierophant and the 3 flames expanding outward on a horizontal plane throughout your pale silver Maharic shield disc. As the Akasha and 3 flames move outward, imagine the Maharic shield disc expanding to about 4 feet wide. Hold your breath for 3 to 4 seconds following the exhale, while imagining that your 4-foot wide pale silver Maharic shield disc at the soles of your feet now vibrates as cycling currents of pale turquoise, pale yellow and pale pink Kirashe frequencies blend with the pale silver D12 Maharic current. Spend a few seconds trying to sense a gentle buzzing sensation as your Maharic shield frequencies accelerate in oscillation to carry the Kirashe current. Now inhale using the breath to draw a ball of Kirashe plus pale silver frequencies into the center of your Maharic shield from the oscillating Maharic shield disc. Imagine that the 4-foot Maharic shield disc remains extended while a Kirashe Maharic ball collects in the center of your Maharic shield to reform a teardrop-shaped Kirashe Akasha Hierophant flame in the center of your Maharic shield. Inhale, draw a ball of Kirashe plus pale silver frequency at the center of your Maharic shield. Imagine the 4-foot disc remains extended while a Kirashe Maharic ball collects in the center of the Maharic shield to reform a teardrop-shaped Kira-She Akasha Hierophant flame in the center. Exhale gently, while imagining the reformed Kira-She Akasha Hierophant flame as a pale silver, energized, three-dimensional Akasha teardrop, which pulses with a repeating cycle of pale turquoise, then pale yellow, and then pale pink bursts of light. This image of the Hierophant as a three-dimensional pale silver Akasha teardrop, pulsating with repeating bursts of the Kira-She color sequence, will now be referred to as the Akasha flame. Now inhale slowly, using the inhale breath to simultaneously draw 3 chords of Kira-She frequency up from the Akasha flame stationed at the center of your Maharic shield 12 inches below your feet to the Iumbi point just below your navel. Imagine a thin cord of pale turquoise Ki current, the D13 Manu frequency, extending up from the Akasha flame and into the small chakra in the ball of your right foot. A thin cord of pale pink She current, the D15 E-ray frequency, extending into the small chakra in the ball of your left foot. And finally, a thin cord of pale yellow, Ra current, the D14 Mane frequency, extends directly up your central vertical current into the base chakra between your legs. Continue to slowly inhale to a cycle of 2 or 3 breaths, drawing the 3 Kira-She currents up into the body at the same speed, while imagining that the pale turquoise and pale pink currents running into the feet arc to the center of your body, merging with the pale yellow center current. The 3 currents joining at the Iumbi point just below the navel. Take a couple more slow, graceful inhale breaths, drawing the 3 Kira-She currents up into the body at the same speed. Imagine that the pale turquoise and pale pink currents running into the feet arc to the center of your body, merging merging with the pale yellow center current until all 3 are joined at the Iumbi point just below the navel. And on the final breath, exhale gently, while imagining that the meeting of the 3 Kira-She chords forms a glowing emerald green crystal in the Iumbi point. Now inhale gently, using the inhale breath to draw the Akasha flame from the center of your Maharic shield up through the pale yellow cord in the central vertical current and into the emerald green Kira-She crystal at the Iumbi point. Exhale gently when the Akasha flame has entered the emerald green crystal at the Iumbi, and then breathe gently for a few moments and try to sense a feeling of warmth or slight buzzing at the Iumbi point just below the navel. Now draw a pale silver cord of D12 Maharic frequency up from Earth's core, drawing it into the Akasha flame within the emerald green crystal at the Iumbi point. Then exhale forcefully, using the exhale breath to expand the Akasha flame from within, while imagining that the Akasha flame and emerald crystal pop, releasing the Kira-She and Akasha flame frequencies into the Iumbi point. Then breathe gently for a few moments. And as you do that, imagine that a small pale silver, indigo, blue, violet flame, about 2 inches high, spontaneously ignites within the Iumbi point. Imagine now that a small pale silver, indigo, blue, violet flame, about 2 inches high, spontaneously ignites within the Iumbi. The Iumbi point is the seat of the celestite crystal that houses the pale silver, indigo, blue, violet Eros flame. Activation of the Akasha flame, the Kireshe and Maharic currents within the Iumbi releases the power of the Eros flame within the Iumbi point itself. Now in a second we're going to use the inhale breath to draw a pale silver, indigo, blue, violet Eros flame up the central vertical current and into the Azure. So when you're ready, inhale, draw pale silver, indigo, blue, violet Eros flame up the central vertical current into the Azure. Exhaling gently to deposit the Eros flame within the deep azure blue crystal at the Azure point. Next, draw a deep, slow Maharic current up from Earth's core into the pale silver, indigo, blue, violet Eros flame at the Azure. And exhale forcefully, using the breath to expand the Eros flame within until it pops within the Azure point. Imagine the pale silver, indigo, blue, violet Eros frequency spreading throughout the Azure and base of the thymus gland area. Breathe gently for a few moments now, as you imagine a small azure blue flame about 2 inches high, spontaneously igniting within the Azure point. The Azure point is the seat of the Azurite crystal. When fully activated, houses the radial body Emerald Amareya flame. Again, draw a deep breath of pale silver frequency up from Earth core into the small Azurite flame at the Azure point, and exhale forcefully using the breath to expand the Azurite flame outward from the Azure into the auric field, completely permeating and surrounding the physical body. Imagine as the flame expands outward, its color changes from deep azure blue to deep emerald green blue, as the Manu, Mane, Ire frequencies of the full Amareya flame activate within the Azure point. Breathe gently now while imagining that the deep emerald green blue Amareya flame continues to expand throughout your auric field in all directions. As it continues to expand, imagine that the auric field forms a large 3D, three-dimensional Akasha teardrop emerald flame with a pale silver indigo blue violet Eros silver sanctum lining all around the body. The base of the Amareya flame expands downward to chakra 13 at Earth's core, while the tip expands upward to chakra 14, 36 inches above the head. Bring to mind the 4-foot wide Maharic shield disc 12 inches below your feet, and imagine the emerald green Amareya flame is now fully expanded to encompass the Maharic shield. Now return your attention to the Azure point at the base of the thymus gland. Using the inhale, draw pale silver Maharic frequency up from Earth core to form a small 2-inch pale silver Maharic flame in the Azure. Exhale forcefully, using the breath to push the pale silver flame up from the Azure and into the pineal gland at the center of the brain. Breathe gently and bring your attention into the pineal gland. Imagine that the pale silver Maharic flame holds 2 tiny crystals at its center. They appear as sparks of light. One, the vibrant violet of D7 frequency. The other, the metallic yellow gold of dimension 8. Maharic current on the breath up from earth core into the Maharic flame stationed in your pineal gland. Using the exhale breath to fill the Maharic flame with a burst of Maharic current. Now breathe easily and imagine that the violet and gold crystals within the Maharic flame vibrate for a moment and then burst into two tiny flames, one violet, one gold, within the 2-inch high Maharic flame. Now inhale Maharic frequency from earth core and into the Maharic flame at the pineal gland, and gently exhale the Maharic current. Breathe gently and imagine that the tiny violet and gold flames within the Maharic flame flare in a magenta pale pink flash as they depolarize and combine with the Maharic flame, forming a silvery pink sunburst of D12 and D15 frequency within the pineal gland. Pull a deep breath of Maharic current up from earth core and exhale forcefully, using the breath to push the silvery pink sunburst vertically upwards from the pineal through the 7th, 10th and 11th chakras and into the 14th chakra 36 inches above the head. Take another deep in-breath all the way up to the silvery pink sunburst in chakra 14 and forcefully exhale the silvery pink sunburst all the way down to earth core. Inhale again quickly, using the breath to rapidly draw the silvery pink sunburst up the central vertical to chakra 14 above the head, and again exhale forcefully, using the breath to send the silvery pink sunburst back down to earth core. Quickly inhale again, using the breath to draw the silvery pink sunburst up into the center of the Maharic shield, 12 inches below your feet. Imagine the silvery pink sunburst as a spinning silvery pink sphere at the center of your Maharic shield. Allow the silvery pink sunburst sphere to spin in whatever direction, speed and rhythm it chooses, and exhale forcefully, using the breath to push the D12, D15 current throughout the Maharic shield disc from the spinning silvery pink sunburst sphere at the Maharic shield center. Breathe easy whilst you imagine now that your Maharic shield is a glowing 4-foot wide disc that repeatedly cycle waves of pale silver, emerald green, blue and silver pink frequency throughout your entire body and auric field. Your Maharic shield is glowing, a 4-foot wide disc, repeatedly cycling waves of pale silver, emerald green, blue and silver pink frequency throughout your entire body and throughout your auric field. Continue to feel and sense this for a minute or two. Your Maharic shield is now temporarily sealed within the protection of the amplified Amaraya flame, and this simultaneously creates an Amaraya seal within and around the DNA template and personal shields, which serve to transmute disharmonic reverse frequencies moving through the DNA from the shadow body and shadow dancers, and will also transmute disharmonic frequencies coming into the DNA template from the planetary environment, such as Blue Sword reverse D13 current. The Amaraya buffer seal will sustain in the Maharic shield and DNA template as long as the silvery pink sunburst sphere at the Maharic shield center is present and remains spinning. The natural D12 Maharic seal will remain in sustained, constant activation Elm will no longer require manual activation as long as the Amaraya buffer seal activation is consistently sustained. Above our heads. You will be directing the pale silver and pale yellow currents to meet at the Azure point on the top of each inhale, forming a large spark of the gold and silver one. Silver gold light in the Azure. You will exhale forcefully, using the breath to push rays of silver golden light outward in all directions through every atom and into the auric field. So, 2-point breathing, drawing pale silver D12 up from earth core, drawing pale yellow D14 down to meet at the top of the inhale at the Azure. Exhaling forcefully, pushing silver gold light outward in all directions through every atom, throughout the auric field. Breathe freely for a moment with your eyes closed and speak out loud 3 times the following tonal command in the ancient Anahazi Elohai language. And this is what we will say 3 times. Bivectus ore ishe nur etur. Bivectus ore ishe nur etur. 3 times. Bivectus ore ishe nur etur. Bivectus ore ishe nur etur. Bivectus ore ishe nur etur. Repeat 1 time in your native language the following command. Out loud. I in my wholeness.
I in my wholeness.
Declare now.
Declare now.
That mine eyes shall see the tormentor here. I call to thee, dweller of the darkness, shadow dancer at the threshold of my soul, in fearless, blameless, all-forgiving, unconditional love. In Christ's love, I bid you fond farewell. In divine truth, I move now to set us free. To each fulfill our original Christed destiny. Go in peace. Be warned, beloved fallen. Withdraw alone before the eternal life fires. Of the eternal Christos burn thee. I now reclaim my wholeness and Christed sovereignty. I call now to the sacred power of my personal inner Christos. Awakening the spark of the gold and silver one. And I call upon the Amaraya flame of divine love that burns eternal now within me. Free now all that which is born of unholy union. Release now from my being all unintended creations. Uplift me now to the fulfillment of my inner eternal divine. Breathe freely for a moment, eyes closed. and focus your mental attention upon the inside of your forehead at the 6th or 3rd eye chakra. Imagine that a teardrop-shaped pale silver, two-dimensional Akasha symbol appears within the darkness on the inside of your forehead. And if you can't see it, just intend that it's there. This image forms an Akasha-shaped inner movie screen. Breathe slowly but freely, and calmly observe any images, pictures or colours that may appear upon the Akasha screen. Listen inwardly for any inner mind chatter, shadow body or shadow dancer commentary. Do not react at all to any images or words that may emerge. Simply observe in peaceful, loving detachment. You are completely safe within the loving embrace of your own inner Christos. Here, nothing can hurt you. Here, you may rest freely to explore and review any and all parts of your multidimensional experience. If nothing emerges, simply carry on with Shadow Dancer decoding steps to follow. But if you receive inner impressions, observe them a bit if you desire, and when you feel ready to move on to complete the Shadow Dancer decoding process, you will do so. We'll spend a little while exploring, observing, safely, peacefully, and lovingly. We've called our dancers forward. We find it difficult to resist. Hold your attention where you put it. I'll describe the next step before we do it. We're going to take 1 2-point gold and silver one breath, using the inhale to simultaneously draw pale silver energy up from Earth's core and pale yellow energy down from chakra 14 to meet within the gold and silver one spark at the Azure point in the thymus. As we draw this breath, we're going to hold it at the top of the inhale to amplify thrust, and at the same time focus our mental attention directly into the gold and silver one spark at the Azure. We will use a strong, quick exhale breath after holding at the top of the inhale to forcefully push the gold and silver one spark directly out in front of you to a position about 2 feet away from your body in the auric field, directly in front of the thymus gland Azure point. After that, we'll breathe freely for a moment. So, when you're ready, we will use a 2-point breath, drawing pale silver up from Earth core, pale yellow down from the chakra 14, meeting at the Azure. Hold them at the top of the inhale, and then quickly exhale, pushing the gold and silver one spark directly out in front of you to a position about 2 feet off the front of your body, directly in front of the thymus gland Azure. Now breathe freely, and as you do, imagine that you can sense dark, slimy black shadow dancer cords beginning to emerge from within their deep forgotten hiding places inside of your 7 embodied chakras. Now try to feel this movement or the weight of the heavy shadow dancer cord energy as it begins to move out the front chakra vortices and directly into the gold and silver one spark 2 feet out into your auric field. Allow the process to develop and continue. And as you do, breathe freely and sense the feeling of growing lightness within the regions of your embodied chakras as the shadow dancer cords unwind from their ancient hiding places and are drawn into the gold and silver one spark for transmutation and demanifestation. Take some little time to sense this simultaneous multiple chakra clearing while breathing gently and mentally repeating the mantra command, I am free now, over and over, until you begin to genuinely feel the emotional truth of this statement. If you cannot yet feel the emotional release within this self-declaration, I am free now, slow the words down in your head as you silently repeat the mantra. Draw the words out as if they are emerging from tape played on too slow a speed. Repeat the I am free now mantra several times on slow speed. And if you still do not feel any emotional release, simply let it be. Be kind to yourself and refrain from self-judgment as you enter this deep healing process. Let your emotional body express itself, privately if need be, collectively if necessary, as it releases the pain, anger, confusion, rage, sadness, guilt, and frustrated love that has been buried and stuck within the subconscious mind for at least 25,000 years of race karma DNA template mutation. Continue to sense the dark, slimy, black shadow dancer cords beginning to emerge from within their deep, forgotten hiding places inside of your 7 embodied chakras. Try to feel the movement or the weight of the heavy shadow dancer cord's energy moving out the front chakra vortices directly into the gold and silver one spark 2 feet out into your auric field. Continue to repeat the mantra, if necessary very slowly, I am free now. We'll continue for 2 or 3 minutes. Keep working with the mantra until you begin to genuinely feel the emotional truth of the statement. Allow yourself to express the emotions associated with the feelings if need be. You are safe. You're in your place of power. And you're surrounded by family that love you and respect you so very, very much. As you make the connection with your assertion, I am free now, build it and feel the power of the assertion building. As the emotional truth of the statement expands within and around you, radiating out from you in all directions, as the dark, slimy black shadow dancer cords emerge increasingly from their forgotten hiding places inside of each of your embodied chakras. Just build the frequency, I am free now. 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 Play with We'll work with this a little longer. Peacefully, lovingly, without judgment, with no conditions, continue to assert the truth of your Christos and your relationship to it. I am free now. I am free now. I am free now. I am free now. Now allow this mantra to continue to resonate through your field as you bring your attention slowly and gently away from it. But know the mantra will continue to resonate throughout your field if you leave it in that way. Very slowly draw your attention away from the emotional response you've been feeling. Very gently and slowly. Very gently and slowly. And in the event there's been any kind of negative kind of overlay occurring, just remind yourself that you're bringing a very positive focus now back to the thought or image of the golden silver one spark, 2 feet out in the front of your auric field. And you can imagine with considerable joy and celebration that all presently available dark, slimy, black shadow dancer cords have been drawn out of your chakras and body and into the gold and silver one spark. Imagine that you can see or feel the gold and silver one spark gently pulsating and vibrating as it gently and lovingly transmutes, purifies and sets free the energies of which the shadow dancer cords were composed. Breathe freely and imagine for a moment that you can see in the left side of your auric field, the image of the Wesadak shadow dancer standing alone within its black hole world. All dark, slimy black connection cords are gone. This shadow dancer is no longer able to drain life force energies from you or from your shadow body. Imagine that you now observe the shadow dancer without fear, without anger, without pity. Try to find within your Christos avatar identity power a genuine vibration of gentle, non-judgmental, unconditional love for the retreating shadow dancer. No fear, no anger, no pity. Bring the power of your Christos forward now, beloveds. Locate whatever genuine vibration of gentle, non-judgmental love you can find as the shadow dancer retreats. Telepathically send the shadow dancer a message of forgiveness, but also a message of uncompromising assertiveness in regard to your intention of gaining your freedom and remaining free. In your own way, in your own words, issue this message now. which contains compassion and self-assertiveness spoken as the Christos avatar that you are. Send a final wish of peace and healing to the shadow dancer only if you feel inclined to do so. But also remember that shadow dancers do not hold such good intentions for you. Your body and consciousness are considered as real estate to them. They do not possess their own emotional body or inner Christos spark, and so they are incapable of giving or receiving genuine love, caring or compassion. Feigning emotional responses drawn from mimicking human emotion is a talent used by shadow dancers for many millions of years to trick humans into interaction. Release the shadow dancer now with absolute Christos love and absolute Christos trust. Know that you can trust the shadow dancer to express according to its nature, and that you can also trust in the divine right order and perfection of universal love to embrace both you and the shadow dancer as you go your separate ways. Make your completion now in the next few moments, breathing freely. Going to inhale and draw the gold and silver one spark from the auric field back into the Azure point in the base of the thymus. Inhale and draw your gold and silver one spark from the auric field back into the Azure point. The gold and silver one has transmuted and demanifest all errant energies that it absorbed from the shadow dancer cause and can safely return to you. Open your eyes as if you're now a newborn baby, or perhaps a Christed avatar that just incarnated on earth, a new, clear, pure, undefined, unburdened, a being of divine right order, free to live, free to love, free to move forth in creation of a new and miraculous life. You created this potential to create these circumstances and conditions. It is your choice to use them and use them well. An element of realizing this potential is embodied in Technique 14, which is the Amareya Invitational Shadow Body Integration Technique. So if you can just recompose yourselves, have a shuffle if you need to get more comfortable. Breathe easily. But again, bring your attention to your breathing rate and try and slow it to a little around half of normal. And move now your mental attention toward the left side of your auric field to establish energetic contact with your shadow body and subconscious shadow self-identity. And I want you to imagine that you can see or sense the presence of your shadow body sitting or standing next to the left side of your body in exactly the same body position and gesture that your physical body is presently in. Inhale, pale silver current up from Earth's core into the gold and silver one spark at the Azure point at the base of the thymus gland. Exhale forcefully using the breath to push the gold and silver one spark from your Azure straight out to the left and directly into the Azure point of your shadow body double. Use your mind to telepathically send thoughts of love, safety, non-judgment, protection, and the desire for a joyful reunion to your shadow self, together with a sense of respect and acknowledgement for the vast stores of knowledge and memory your shadow body holds. You're being offered the opportunity to telepathically connect from a loving perspective, from a position of safety and non-judgment. Your desire is for a joyful reunion with your shadow self. And the shadow self deserves some respect and acknowledgement for the huge elements of knowledge and memory that it holds, which you share, which belong to both of you. Now, inhale slowly and steadily, using the breath to draw the gold and silver one spark with the shadow body attached directly into your own physical body, pulling the gold and silver one spark back into your azure point and aligning the azure points of you and your shadow body. So inhale slowly, using the breath to draw the gold and silver one spark with the shadow body attached to it directly into your own physical body, into your azure, and aligning the azure points of both yours and your shadow body. The shadow body is now positioned within you where it can be energetically accessed for direct healing. Now in a moment we're going to take several 2-point breaths. On the inhale you will be drawing pale silver D12 Maharic current up from earth core, while simultaneously drawing pale yellow D14 down from chakra 14, 36 inches above your head. On the top of each inhale, the pale silver and pale yellow currents will meet at the azure point. On the top of the inhale, they will meet at the azure point, expanding the gold and silver one spark to the size of a large grapefruit eventually. On each breath you will exhale forcefully, using the breath to push rays of silver golden light outward in all directions, through every atom of your body, into the auric field, and through every atom of the shadow body double within you. And we need anywhere between 6 and 12 breaths. Inhale silver up from earth core, pale yellow from chakra 14, at the top of each inhale meeting at the azure, expanding the gold and silver one to the size of a large grapefruit eventually. Exhale the breath, pushing rays of silver golden light outward in all directions through every atom of your body, and especially into the auric field and throughout every atom of the shadow body double within you. If you feel a tingling or a sense of spreading warmth and lightness within the azure point, you have successfully resolved the accessible portions of the personal shadow body, clearing them template reversals, realigning them with your organic Christos divine blueprint, and reintegrating them into the natural structure of your personal shields and DNA template. If you're not feeling a tingling or a warmth or a lightness, take 2 or 3 more 2-point breaths. ready to accept the invitation to re-establish or strengthen our personal connection with our Ayani companions, individual companions, who are assigned and ready to respond. So begin by moving your mental attention to a point of focus at the top of the breastbone at chakra 8, just above the heart center and below the throat chakra center. This is a position of the Azure, the tiny control center for the embodied Kathara grid template. So with your attention focused in the Azure, imagine the deep azure blue azurite crystal sphere located there. And within the azurite crystal lies your throne of power, the center point of your embodied Eka God seed, through which the eternal flame of Amaraya embodies. Imagine now that your awareness is a spark of pale silver Maharic light. With your conscious reference point of yourself as this spark of light, imagine that you as this spark of light are traveling into the center of the azurite crystal sphere, to the gateway of the Amaraya flame of eternal Christed love. Imagine the Amaraya gateway as a tiny Maharic silver egg, the cosmic Amaraya egg, encased within a deep azure blue spherical standing wave. Imagine that you, as the eternal Maharic spark, move to the center of the Amaraya egg within the azurite crystal. As you do this, you enter the place of your own eternal birthright, the hallowed ground of your original divine heritage as a living expression of the one God source. The Amaraya egg within the Amaraya gateway and Manu azurite flame is the eternal still point through which the still small voice of the God self within speaks. Visualize or intend that you, as this spark of Maharic light, is now positioned within the Amaraya gateway. A pale silver spark of light, encased within the pale silver Amaraya egg, within the eternal azurite flame of the deep azure blue azurite crystal sphere, the inner Eka center point of creation. Here all things are eternally still, calm and peaceful. Here is the sanctuary within, the inner temple of Kemalohatiya, the eternal safe ground and perpetual guardian